Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing great. I want to tell you a story of how I made a lot of money, and it's a principle that I teach in the course, the side hustle course. But I just want to share it with the masses because there are a lot of people that just don't understand how to buy and sell a certain thing. And I'm gonna give you this one little tip that I really I've always lived by, and it's been great. And it was when I was flipping tractors, but this could be for any kind of collection. Okay, this is when you make your most amount of money buying and selling stuff, like at garage sales or things like that. Um, when I was selling tractors, I found that during the Great Recession, when people were selling off, they were losing their homes, and they were moving away. They were selling their stuff, right? Their toys and some of that stuff. People are losing houses and property. They were selling a tractor with multiple implements, like a box scraper, a post hole digger, all that kind of stuff, right? Or there were construction companies that were liquidating their equipment, and they would sell a skid steer, a bobcat with like 4 or 5 attachments. And something very interesting that I found, and I'll tell a couple stories, and how I made my money was always in the attachments. The profit was always in the tractor. The To get my money back was always in the implements. So what would happen was, someone would be selling something, and this could be for anything, okay? Like a collections, when you can walk up and say, hey, you're selling this like baseball card, this box of baseball cards, and like, well, do you have any more? And they go, yeah. I say, well, how much is this box of baseball cards? Like, well, it's $100. And I go, well, you have 5 more of these. How much would you sell everything for? And they go, 300. You're like, well, that one was 100. The other five, or let's say, you go, well, that's the deal. I could take that and separate it out and sell them individually and make so much more money, right? So I'll just buy the whole lot. And it usually the seller doesn't really think about it. Well, if one was 100 and I've got 5 more over there and I want 300 for all of them, you'd think they'd charge 6, but my point being is you could buy more and have more to sell, right? And diversify your holdings. Well, with tractors, I remember this one guy. I went to buy a tractor, and I went over and I text him, and he goes, "Yeah, I want $5,000 and had a tractor and 3 implements." And he goes, "But if you buy it, you better take it all." Wow, that's sort of weird. Like, okay. And so I go 5 grand. I'll go, "Hey, would you take 4,500 bucks?" And he goes, "Yeah, I'll take 4,500 bucks, but you got to come and get it all. There's another guy that just wants to buy the tractor." Like, okay. So I pull up and I got my trailer. I don't even have to, I just start it, look at it. Like, I already can tell it's a great deal. And I don't like trying to mess around with people. I said, look, I'm going to offer you 500 bucks less at that price. I'm coming to get it right now. I got cash. I'm not even messing around. And I don't try and get them down anymore. I be honest and legit and go, thank you. It's a smoking deal at this price. Most people even knew that I was flipping tractors, but they just appreciated the honesty, right? And that's one of the lessons I talk about. It sounds funny. The smallest little lessons in that selling course that I did on how to start a side hustle that most people don't get, and they fail. Just small little nuggets of information. But so I went in there and I bought the tractor and the 3 implements. And the guy that was trying to talk him, the seller even said, he goes, "Yeah, I got this guy that won't stop harassing me. He just wants the tractor. He doesn't want the implements." And I'm like, "No, I got to get moved. I want it all gone." And the guy goes, "Well, I've already got 3 implements that are the same. Why would I take those?" Now I go, and now this was key. I go, "Well, how much did he offer you?" And he goes, "Oh, he's willing to buy it for asking price. So that was 5 grand, but he just wants a tractor." And I'm just like blown away. Like, why wouldn't this guy just buy the tractor for 5 grand? I've already got it for 4,500 plus the 3 implements. This guy wouldn't buy the tractor for 5 grand, take the implements, and turn around and sell them. But see, so many people, you think that people know this, like just, but they don't. They just don't get it. So I buy it, give him 4,500. I thank him for an amazing deal because it was. He worked with me on the price, but this guy's like, I got to move. I got to get out of here right now. I'm loading the tractor up with the implements, and the guy pulls up and he goes, "Hey, you sold the tractor." And he goes, "I told you." And the guy goes, "I told you, I only want uh what's it called? I only want you to take it all. And you already had your chance." And the guy is getting mad. He goes, "But that's my tractor." He goes, "No, we didn't have a deal. I told you to come and get it all." And I'm just like, this is awkward. But I'm like, thanks, buddy, for dragging your knuckles. But it's like, and he leaves. He gets upset and takes off. I turned around and I sold those 3 implements for 4,000 bucks. All right. So that didn't exactly pay me back everything. I was down out 500. Big whoop, right? I then turned around and took that tractor and I sold that tractor for $5,000. Now think about that kind of profit. And not only that, that guy, I got it for less because the seller was so frustrated with somebody else. And that guy, all you had to do, yeah, sure, you have the same implements. Get out of your own brain sometimes and think bigger and like sell the implements they doubled. You're like, there you go. You might even find that that implement that you already have is in better shape than yours. So you could sell yours. Now, here's another story I want to tell you. It's about tractors as well. There was this guy that had a big collection. He was during the Great Recession, he lost his house or was losing his house, and so he went in. He wanted to go into a new field, and so he went into computer programming. He went online course, became a computer programmer or coder, and he was leaving the construction business, and he had a skid steer with like 10 attachments. They were really high quality, expensive attachments too. And one of them, and I was pretty busy, but I had like three or four, pieces of equipment with like 20 implements sitting off in my yard, literally my backyard at my house, for sale. And I was just cash poor at that point. I had all my money in inventory and I was selling stuff, but there was one implement there. And it was a grater attachment, really big grater attachment with a 6-way blade, very expensive attachment. They usually sell for like $12,000 or $14,000 just for the attachment. And I knew that I had a buyer for that. So I was trying to buy just that attachment. Now he wanted 22,000 for everything. All right. The skid steer and all these attachments. I came to him and I said, look, I would like to buy that one attachment for $5,000, $5,000, right? Which was almost a quarter of everything he's trying to sell, just one attachment. But I knew that I had a buyer for that attachment at $7,000. He said, no, if you want it, you buy everything. I'm like, gosh. And then I tried to explain to him what I'm explaining to you. Do you know that if you broke this collection up, you'd make way more money? So I don't care about that. I want this gone. I'm moving on because in his mind, I need money. I just became a computer programmer. Like he's working 7 days a week. He could sell something on the weekend. It just blows me away. And I want it all gone. That's people are just giving money away because they're losing their minds, right? Because the Great Recession was happening. He's losing his house. He needs, like, you're not working 7 days a week. You could just split this up right now. You got a guy literally and he owned everything. You got a guy offering you $5,000 right now, cash in hand. You could turn around then, sell it to me for 5. I mean, telling him all of this stuff, again, being honest, right? Try and help people because even if they take it and you miss the dollar, you end up getting it on the back end. I explained that in the course. So you turn around. He said, no, you're going to buy it all or nothing. So then the 22 grand, right? I go to somebody and I ask a buddy for a loan. I said, look, I will loan me 20 grand right now. And I will give you $22,000 in less than 3 months. And it was like 10% in 3 months. He's like, done. You go, yeah, hands me the money. Because I just didn't have a lot of money right now, right? I took that and I said, look, I called him back. I said, I don't have 22 grand, but I do have 20. If you want it, I'll come pick it all up today. It'll be gone. You won't even have to deal. And that's another thing I tell people. You won't even have to deal with another person calling you. And he said, come get it. I handed him $20,000. It took multiple loads to go get this. There's a lot of equipment, right? The next day, that grader attachment was gone for 7. All right. So I already had, literally more than a quarter of my money back. Then systematically, I sold all of those attachments. I paid back my buddy, gave him 10%. It was less than 30 days, just handed him $22,000. Here you go. Here's 10%, man, in less than 30 days. He's stoked. I'm stoked because I know that next time I need more money, cash on a quick basis, it's in my hand, right? I ended up selling that entire lot of equipment for a little over $50,000. All because somebody doesn't think and they have a bird in the hand, right? A guy that's willing to buy one attachment. I didn't get frustrated. I went back, got the money, and went and bought it. Guys, that's how you make money. That's how you're going to make money in this next crash. That's why during a recession is the best time to start a side hustle, but do it with cash. That's what I teach in the course. If you guys want to take a look, I got a link to the course below. I thank you so much for your time. The Economic Ninja is out.